Okay, 10 class, I'm starting with the new chapter today, the hack driver. Now, the hack driver is a story about a young lawyer who comes to a village to serve summon on Oliver Lutkins. Oliver Lutkins, who has been summoned by the court. So, this young lawyer was assigned a job to seek Oliver Lutkins from the village. A friendly hack driver takes him round the village in search of Lutkins. Now, as he gets down at the railway station, he asks a hack driver about Oliver Lutkins. The hack driver helps him to search Oliver Lutkins. Does he find him? Who is Lutkins? What kind of a person is he? What happens next? Let's check it out. Right? So we need to find out, why is the lawyer sent to New Malyan? What does he first think about the place? Who befriends him? Where does he take him? And what does he say about Lutkins? So let's start reading. Ria, please start reading.
Okay, ma'am. After graduating with honors, I became a junior assistant, magnificent law firm. I was sent not to prepare legal briefs but to serve summons like a cheap private detective. I had to go to dirty and shadowy corners of the city to seek out my victims. Some of the larger and more self confident ones even beat me up. I hated this unpleasant work and the side of city life it revealed to me. I even considered fleeing to my hometown where I could have been a real lawyer right away without going through this unpleasant training period. So I rejoiced one day when they sent me out 40 miles in the country to a town called New Mullion to serve summons on a man called Oliver Lutkins. We needed this man as a witness in a law case and he had ignored all our letters. When I got to
Okay,
New Mullion,
just Ria, just give a pause here. Now, here we come to know a bit about the advocates or the lawyers. They actually lead a tough life in the beginning. The profession demands a lot of dedication, hard work, and till the time, especially till the time you are recognized and you come into the eyes of the people that he or she has been practicing for such a long time and is good at this profession, you are not, till the time this thing happens, you are generally, you do not even get work, sufficient work to earn your livelihood, right? So, this is the narrator here is an advocate, and it tells about the struggle he had to face there in the beginning of his career. So, his job, he says, was the assigned job. He was assigned was just serving summons, uh, asking people. Summon is where the person, the formal letter is given by the court, where the person has to appear before the court on the mentioned date and day, right? Here, the narrator talks about those days when he was just given assigned with this petty job of doing serving summons. He is telling his experience and the small things, the small incidents which happens in one's life give larger experiences of life. Actually, right? They serve as, the small incident may be small, but they prove to be major learning outputs for individuals. So this particular incident was perhaps a big learning outcome for this advocate who is our narrator. One day he was very happy when he was sent out 40 miles in the country. In the beginning, he says that if he had worked in the from the place where he belonged to, then he would have got a better job. But because he wanted to explore, he wanted to learn new things, so he started working under somebody, and he was just given the petty job of serving summons. No legal work was assigned to him. So one day he was sent out 40 miles in the country. Country here is referred to the outskirts, basically, you can say, to a town called New Mullion. So he was sent to New Mullion to serve summon on a man called Oliver Lutkins. So he had to give summon to Oliver Lutkins. We needed this man as a witness in a law case, and he had ignored all our letters. So for a law case, For a legal case, he was one of the prominent, one of the important witnesses. So this man, Lutkins, was required for that. He was sent earlier, letters and summons were sent to him, but he ignored and he didn't responded back to them. So now, narrator was sent there in person so that he can hand the summon to Lutkins himself, right? Or he could bring him along with him. So let's see what happens next. Please continue reading.
When I got to New Million, my eager expectations of a sweet and simple country village were severely disappointed. Its streets were rivers of mud with rows of wooden shops, either painted a sour brown or bare of any paint at all. The only agreeable sight about the place was the delivery man at the station. He was about 40, red-faced, cheerful, and thick about the middle. His working clothes were dirty and well worn, and he had a friendly manner. You felt at once that he liked people. I told him, to find a man named Oliver Lutkins. Lutkins, I saw him around here about an hour ago. Hard felling, catch through. Always up to something or other. He's probably to start up a poker game in the back of Fred's shop. I'll tell you. Is there any hurry? Always to hard to fellow to catch though, always up to something or other. He's probably trying to start up a poker game in the back of Fred's shop. I'll tell you, boy, is there any hurry about locating Lutkins? Yes, I want
Just a
to.
second, please. Just give a pause here, Ria. Now, when I got to New Malin, my eager expectations of a sweet, simple country village were severely disappointed. He saw that the place where he landed down, it was full of mud. There were wooden shops, quite a backward area, and the walls were not even painted. So the only nice sight was about the place was that a delivery man at the station, and he was about 40, red-faced, cheerful, and thick about the middle. His working clothes were dirty and well-worn, and he had a friendly manner. You felt at once that he liked people. Okay, so I told him to find a man named Oliver Lutkins. Now, the only agreeable sight about the place was the delivery man at the station. He was about 40, red-faced, cheerful, and thick about the middle. His working clothes were dirty and well-worn, and he had a friendly manner. He felt at once that he liked people. So he just found this man and he asked him that I might need to find a man named Oliver Lutkins. Lutkins, I saw him around here about an hour ago. Hard fellow to catch though, always up to something or the other. He's probably trying to start up a poker game in the back of Fritz shop. I'll tell you, boy. Is there any hurry about locating Lutkins? So he said that you're looking for Lutkins. I've just seen him somewhere around, though he's a very, it's difficult to catch him because every time he's up to something or the other, and you will find him at the Fritz shop at the backyard where he is where he generally goes to play a game of poker, right? So, is there any hurry about locating Lutkins? So the man tells, yes, I want to catch the afternoon train back to the city, and it's very important, and I have a secret about it. I can't tell you, but it's I'm just looking for this man and I have to return back in the afternoon also. I have a train back, so but I want this man, so can you tell me? So this man, the delivery man, right, this middle-aged delivery man, he says, yes, I can help you out because I've got a hack. Hack is somewhat, as you can see in the picture here, it's like a cart, horse cart, we can say, pulled by two horses, right? So he says, yes, I've got a hack, and I'll get it out. We can drive together, and then we are going to find Lutkins. So this delivery man, who is also a hack driver, he says, "I've got a hack, and you can sit upon, you can have a, come with me. You can have a ride, and we are going to search out Lutkins, right?" So from here, the actual story starts. What happens? Where all do to which all places he goes to find Lutkins, and whether he's able to find it or find him or not. Let's see that. Please continue, Ria.
Yes, I want to catch the afternoon train back to the city. I was very imp- important and secret about it. I'll tell you what, I have got a hack. I'll get it out and we can drive around together and find Lutkins. I know most of the places he hangs out. He was so open and friendly that I glowed with the warmth of his affection. I knew, of course, that he wanted the business, but his kindness was real. I was glad the fair money would go to this good kind fellow. I managed to bargain down to $2 an hour, and then he brought from his house nearby a sort of large black box on wheels. He remarked, "Well, young man, here's the carriage," and his wide smile made me into an old friend. These villagers are so ready to help a stranger. He had already made it his own task to find Oliver Lutkins for me. He said, "I don't want to interfere, young fellow, but my guess is that you want to collect some money from Lutkins. He never pays anybody a cent. He still owes me 50 cents on a poker game. I was fooled. Enough to
Now,
pay with him."
just a second. Now, I'll tell you what. I've got a hack. So he takes him to his hack, and the two of them they move to search out Lutkins. He was so open and friendly that I glowed with the warmth of his affection. I knew, of course, that he wanted the business. Obviously, he also had this intention that the man would be coming in his hack, so he will be paying him. But then again, there are people you meet who are very cordial, who are very sweet natured. They'll start talking to you, whether the rickshaw pullers or the auto drivers, even the watchman. If you find him at night roaming in front of your house, you find at times these people, they are so soft and they're so friendly. They are so concerned about your little things that you actually get that affectionate feeling that how nice a person is, right? So in the similar manner, this man was also very sweet and very affectionate, and he was so open and friendly, but his kindness was real, and I was glad that the fair money would go to his good fellow. So narrator was happy that the money would go to this fellow, and was such a nice man. So he managed to bargain down to $2 an hour, and then he brought from his house nearby a sort of large black box on wheels. He remarked, "Well, young man, here's the carriage," and his wide smile made me into an old friend. These villagers are so ready to help a stranger. He had already made it his own task to find Oliver Lutkins for me. Now, this is actually, it happens also in the villages. If you go, many of you might be belonging to a rural background, your families or your relatives, maybe your grandparents, they might be living in the villages. So you will always find that people in the villages, they are very affectionate. As I just mentioned in the beginning of the story also, that in the cities, people do not, they're not even aware of who lives next to your door, right? But in the villages, it's not that. People, if a stranger comes to the village and they seeks, the stranger seeks for some kind of a help, they are all very friendly and very helpful people, and they are like, every time they're willing to help them, right? So narrator also realized this thing, that the villagers, they are very affectionate people and they're always ready to help. So he said, "I don't want to interfere, young fellow. I don't want to interfere, young fellow, but my guess is that you want to collect some money from Lutkins." So now the hack driver is saying that, is it that you want to collect some money from Lutkins? He never pays anybody a cent. He still owes me 50 cents on a poker game, and I was fool enough to play with him. So the hack driver is telling that this guy, Lutkins, he's never good at giving money. He owes me 50 cents in the poker game, and he's not bothered to pay me back. So he's not really bad, but it is hard to make him part with his money. Let's continue from here.
He's not really bad, but it's hard to make him part with his money. If you try to collect from him in those fancy clothes, he'll be suspicious and get away from you. If you want, I'll go into Fritz and ask for him, and you can keep out of sight behind me. I loved him for this. By myself, I might never have found Lutkins. With the hack driver's knowing help, I was sure of getting my man. I took him into my confidence and told him that I wanted to serve the summons on Lutkins, that the man had refused to be a witness, when his information would have quickly settled our case. The driver listened earnestly. At the end, he hit me on the shoulder and laughed. Well, we'll give brother Lutkins a little surprise. Let's start, driver. Most folks
Now,
around.
just a second, please. So we find here that the man was so helpful. He said that, okay, so he says that you can do one thing. I will, you please hide. Once we find where Lutkins is, then you can hide yourself, and I will go and bring him in the front. Then you can talk to him. So the narrator was obviously feeling very good. He said that he might not be able to find Lutkins on his own. So this hack driver was trying to help him, and I was sure of getting my man, and I took him into my confidence and told him that I wanted to serve the summons on Lutkins. So then he disclosed. Earlier he told it's a secret that why he is searching for Lutkins. He told that it was a secret. Now he discloses it to the hack driver. The purpose of his visit to Lutkins was that he wanted to serve him summons, and that the man had refused to be a witness when his information would have quickly settled our case. The driver listened earnestly, and at the end, he hit me on the shoulder and laughed. So the hack driver listened to him, and at the end, he hit him on the shoulder in that friendly manner, in that amiable manner, and he laughed. Well, we'll have Brother Lutkins a little surprise. Let's start, driver. So he says that, okay, we are going to give Lutkins a surprise. We are going to make him shocked by appearing from anywhere. We're going to search him out, and you can give him the summons. Let's continue, please.
Most folks around here call me Bill or Magnuson. My business is called William Magnuson Fancy Carting and Hacking. All right, Bill, shall we proceed to Fritz? Yes, Lutkins is just as likely to be there as anywhere. Plays a lot of poker. He's good at deceiving people. Bill seemed to admire Lutkins' poker talent for dishonesty. I felt that if he had been a policeman, he would have caught Lutkins respectfully and jailed him with regret. Bill led me into Fred's. Have you seen Oliver Lutkins around today? Friend of his looking for him, said Bill cheerily. Fritz looked at me, hiding behind Bill. He hesitated and then admitted, yes, he was in here a little while ago. Guess he's gone over to Gustav's to get a shave. Well, if he comes in, tell him I'm looking for him. We drove to Gustav's barber shop. Again, Bill went in first, and I lingered at the door. He asked not only the Swede but two customers if they had seen Lutkins. The Swede had not. He said angrily, I haven't seen him and don't care to. But if you find him, you can just collect that $35 he owes me. One of the customers thought he had seen Lutkins walking down Main Street, this side of the hotel. As we climbed back into the hack, Bill concluded that since Lutkins had exhausted his credit at Gustav's, he had probably gone to Gray's for a shave. At Gray's barber shop, we missed Lutkins by only 5 minutes. He had just left, probably for the pool room. At the pool room, it appeared that he had just bought a pack of cigarettes and gone out. So we pursued him, just behind him, but never catching him for an hour till it was past 1 o'clock. I was hungry, but I had so enjoyed Bill's rough country opinions about his neighbors that I scarcely cared whether I found Lutkins or not.
Okay, now what all they did. The first place they visited was Fritz. You remember he told that he generally goes to Fritz's place to play poker. So they go to Fritz's place. Fritz is the name of a person here. So by myself, I might never have found Lutkins. This is what he says. Uh, just a second, please. So they go to Fritz's place and they ask him, have you seen Oliver Lutkins around today? Friend of his is looking for him, said Bill cheerily. Fritz looked at me, hiding behind Bill. He hesitated and then admitted, yes, he was there a little while ago. Guess he has gone over to Gustav's to get a shave. So Fritz said, yes, he was there just a while ago, but now perhaps he has gone to Gustav's. Gustav's is again a name of a person. He has gone to Gustav's shop to get his shave done. So, well, if he comes in, tell him I'm looking for him. So the hack driver here leaves a message for him that whenever he finds him, just tell him that when if you find him, tell him that I was looking for him and there is a friend who is searching him. Then they went to Gustav's barber shop. He drove him to Gustav's barber shop. Again, Bill went in first, and the narrator was a bit hesitant to enter in. So he asked not only Sweet, but the two customers if they had seen Lutkin. So there he asked the person who was doing the work, he asked him, and he also questioned the two customers who were there that if they had seen Lutkins, right? The Swede had not seen, and he said angrily that I haven't seen him and don't care to. But if you find him, you can just collect that $35 he owes me. So the person there, the Swede, he was very upset. He says that he owe me 35 dollars. So if you find him, please tell him to give my money back. The one of the customers thought that he had seen Lutkins walking down the main street this side of the hotel. So he said that Lutkins was there on the other side of the hotel, and 5 minutes before he had seen him. So as they then climb back into the hack, Bill concluded that since Lutkins had exhausted his credit at Gustav's, he had probably gone to Grace for a shave. So now at the Gustav's shop, because he owe him money, so he said that maybe if he was not there, then he might have gone to the other salon. The name here is at the Gray's shop for getting his shave done. So at the Gray's barber shop, they missed Lutkins by only 5 minutes. So when they reached there, they were told that just 5 minutes before, Lutkins had gone from that point. So they were, visiting all the possible places where Lutkins used to visit, right? But every time, whenever they reach that spot, they realize that just 2 minutes before, just 5 minutes before, they have missed him. So he had just left, probably for the pool room. At the pool room, it appeared that he had just brought a pack of cigarettes and gone out. So at the pool room, they were informed that he had bought a pack of cigarettes and then he left. So we pursued him just behind him, but never catching him for an hour till it was past 1 o'clock. So it was 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The narrator was hungry, but he had enjoyed the talks and the company of the hack driver who made him feel very friendly and affectionate, right? And actually, that main target that he was